What's up? Merc80.com, your boy Merc80, camera girl Eve here, and today we are with a very special guest, Miss Asya Shein from Fusicology. How you doing?
Good, thanks for having me.
We're going to get into the first question, which is basically, in your own words, what's your story and how did you start Fusicology?
Well, I started going out in Toronto, where I grew up, in the mid-90s, and I was a rave promoter. Then I moved to Ohio, continued on with the promotions, but got more into like Chicago house and Detroit techno. And that's when I moved to Detroit, attended school, met a lot of people in the house music industry, and I became an assistant to this lady named Laura Gavor from Yinsight. She was booking and managing artists like Juan Atkins, Kevin Saunderson, Theo Parrish, Moody Man, Jeff Mills, a bunch of those kind of Detroiters. I then moved to Chicago, started my own booking agency focused on house and deep house. And I became the personal manager for Pev and Everett, and I ran 2 independent house music labels, started my own booking agency, and did that for about 7 years. With the booking agency, I was very lucky enough to work with the late great Jay Dilla, and I was Questlove's booking agent for 4 years. And you know, 9/11 hit, a lot of things changed, a lot of traveling changed, and people didn't want to travel as much, and things became expensive. And I said, you know, I gotta do something else other than be a booking agent for artists. People used to call me and say, hey, what's going on tonight? Where is it at? Is there a dress code? Who's DJing? And all these questions, and I started to put up these Mere Media newsletters. Mere Media is the name of the agency. And then I wanted to create a brand out of it. Me and a couple friends in New York thought of the name Fusicology in the summer of 2003. It was in New York and LA for about 2.5 years only. And then we expanded and we kept expanding, and now we're in 18, about to be 25 cities.
It seems like you're very music influenced, music heavy. That's the industry that you're focused on. So how did you start falling in love with music?
Yeah, well, in my mother's belly, I think, because my mom's a violinist, a guitar player, and a singer. So I really fell in love, and I still, to this day, strings and the violin just absolutely, you know, are the top for me. But in the more practical sense, I think the rave scene in Toronto, rave is such a bad word now, but 15 years ago, it was all about the mishmash of the hip hop room and the house room and the ambient room, and drum and bass was huge in Toronto. And because Toronto is such a multicultural city with so many different people coming in from all the world, you had a bit of New York, a little bit of the Chicago, a little bit of the London, all kind of mishmash together. And I think because of that, it's made me who I am. So I'm not just into one or the other.
Getting into Fusicology, could you run down some stats on, like, you know, how many visitors there are?
It's about 37,000 uniques at this point. We get about 10,000 uniques a week. On busier weeks, it could be more than that if there's contests we're running or New Year's Eve. 90,000 people subscribe to our mailing list. Some of them obviously subscribe to more than one city, so it's not 90,000 clean, but it is a database of 90,000 people. And we are comprised mainly of, you know, music lovers, promoters, artists, venues, but then there's a lot of people that go to our site that just want to know what's going on. They want to know where to go and what exactly they need to do in order to get there, guest lists and RSVPs and maps and things like that. It's just a one-stop shop, I think, for people to go in and see what's really going on in their part of the country.